now, the royal hostess with the mostest, the queen bee with the money, honey.
BeePlus.
That's right. And it's time you all bow to the real queen bee.
Here comes the most beautiful bee in the universe.
You're stealing all the bees just because you're jealous?
No, that's just a bonus. My actual plan is to capture all the queens. Their hives will then have no choice but to follow me.
All right. Hello, guys. Hello. Let's see here. Hello to everybody that is on here. I don't know. I can't keep up. Let's see. All right. Hello, Rody Gal, Man Extreme, Liberty Farmer, of course, and Dorothy, Christy Love. I'm sure there's other people here. I'm sorry if I missed you. I apologize. This isn't going to be a super long live. I was going to just wait till tonight because today is a day that I usually work on my schoolwork because I have assignments due on Thursday nights. So in order for me to be able to come hang out with you guys tonight, hi Crime Scene Cleaner, I have to jump on that and get that done beforehand. But I'm actually encouraged because there's a class that I'm really, really struggling in right now. And I got an A on one of my assignments. So I'm like really happy right now. So I just checked that just now and that I'm in a good mood. All right. So the reason for this live today, this morning is because I want to, talk about a few things. And like I said, guys, I am very open to being called out. Like I appreciate it actually. But when it's like, used in the correct context, and I saw something today that, I just don't think fit very well. And I wanted to address it because I felt that it needed to be addressed. So here's the thing. Where do I start? So I'm going to first say this very first and foremostly. So I was live last night, so fairly late. So when there was news breaking that Natasha had lost her aunt, I didn't know about that, guys. And, my heart breaks for her. That's, it's always tragic to lose somebody that you're close with. I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. And I truly am very, very sorry that, she lost a loved one, guys. Like her or not, she's a human being. And that's really sad. So my intention was never to continue to go at her or whatever. Even though I didn't know that she was dealing with a loss. I honest to God didn't. But would it have changed that I commented last night about the comments she made about Jess's parenting as, someone in recovery and addiction? I didn't like the comment she made about that last night. So yes, I did speak on it. And I'm not going to apologize for speaking on that either. Because I feel very, very strongly about that. I don't think that was appropriate. I don't think that should have been said. So basically, I've been seeing that, of course, everyone's saying that, okay, there's hypocrisy about people mentioning children and stuff like that. And I just wanted to clarify a few things. I happened to notice that my comment was highlighted in a video, and I want to discuss that because, first of all, the comment that was highlighted, first of all, I think that was fairly old. I don't think that's a recent comment. And it wasn't even anything speaking ill about anybody's children or parenting. All I had commented on, right? The situation was there was a time that I think it was when the situation, I'm just mentioning this for context. Like I said, I don't want to talk about Natasha today, guys. I don't, because I respect the fact that she's grieving and that we're not going to talk about her. But I am talking about this just because I can't not mention her and discuss what I want to talk about. So hopefully that can be respected. So it said something around, it was when I think I could be wrong, guys. I think it was when she said that somebody was outside her house and that whole debacle, right? And that she had to call the police in the middle of the night, and that, she called over her adult child, and, her adult child confirmed with her that police were there. And that's literally all I had said. I was skeptical about what it was, but that's literally what my comment said, was when her, adult daughter came to verify that the police were there. And that comment is getting highlighted as, me dragging her parenting or children. And I'm just, that was confusing to me because that's the last thing I would want to do. And I think that there is a lot of it going on, guys. I've seen it. And I'm not saying that, it's off base that there are people that have criticized Natasha's family and parenting, because there have been people that did that. I'm just not one of them. I don't think anyway. Sometimes I get caught up in things, and if I did, then I'll take accountability for that for sure. But right, Abby, I understand that, but for me personally, I am going to cease fire during that because a loss is a loss, and I know she was close with her aunt, so I'm not going to go there just out of courtesy because I would like her to do the same. Let's see. Okay, yeah. Liberty Farmer, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay. Right, I'm not the only one who saw it. Because I was kind of surprised. I was like, all right, so there's some instances in here that are legitimate and valid. There are definitely some comments in here that were inappropriate. I just didn't seem to think, I don't think mine was one of them. I'm not going to lie to you guys. And I've always said, I try not to mention anybody like that at all. And I think I've been pretty open about that. And anybody who's listened to my lives will know that that's something I try and stand very strongly about. Because I don't think that because you don't know people's personal lives and you don't know anything like that. But I'm not going to apologize for making a comment about what she was saying about addicts yesterday. I'm sorry. I'm not going to apologize for it. I didn't know that she had a loss in the family. But at the same time, when you're speaking about things like that, that hits home for a lot of people. And I very much disagree. Her saying that addiction is a choice and that and then bringing, Jess into it and referring to her children and her parenting. I didn't like that, guys. I just didn't. And, whether you like Jess or you like Natasha, I mean, I'm welcome to say that. But the thing, to make it sound like I was still going at her, because even though I had no idea that she had lost a family member, I was here. And when I shut this computer off, I turned the phone off. I turn everything off. Oh, crime scene cleaner. I'm aware that's a double standard too. I get that. And I acknowledge it. It's just for me personally. I mean, I don't expect anybody else to do what I do or, to feel the same way. And if other people feel differently and want to go about it differently, then that's fair. Like, I don't control anybody else. I'm just saying for me personally. And I was kind of, a little confused as to why I was included in this, because if you're looking for examples of, her children being talked about, I don't think what I said was really a very good one, if I'm honest. I will try to be more conscious. And plus, I think that was really old. That clip, I mean, I know that had to have been really old because I haven't been in Granny's chat in a while. So I haven't, because I just haven't been going around places lately. I'm trying to take a break from places that get me, I don't know, kind of worked up, I guess, if that makes sense, guys. No, it does. Right. That's what I said, though, Nancy. It doesn't excuse. That's why I said I'm not apologizing for what I said about that. I'm just not going to do it. I think that there are a lot of people in this community that have been open and a lot of people who have not been open about their struggle with addiction. And, I think that, while there are a lot of people out there who do believe it's a choice, I disagree. And I'm going to say something about it. I don't think that was right. That's a low blow. And I don't know why it's a problem for me to say something about that. I understand that people have said things about Natasha as well. I get that. But I'm still going to say something about that. And I don't know why. It just made no sense to me. So I saw that. I'm like, I'm going to come out here and address it. Because I want to, offer my condolences. I'm very sorry that she lost a family member. That's rough. It's sad. I don't want anybody to lose a family member. And there goes my dog. Oh, my God. She thinks that every time she hears a truck, it's somebody delivering something to the house. And I haven't ordered anything in so long. So, I mean, she's sadly mistaken. But I want to, yeah, right. Yeah, no, I agree, crime scene cleaner, but I think that she's not willing to look at that at this point, But that's what I was trying to say, guys. I didn't come on here with the purpose of anything like that. And, I'm also just not going to apologize for what I said. The comment that came out of her mouth was unacceptable, in my opinion. And whether you like Jess or not, nobody should be speaking about somebody's parenting like that ever. Never, never, never. And I'm not going to, oh, you can barely hear her. Okay, Mo, thank you. I can hear her and it gets under my skin because I live with it. But yeah, that's the thing, guys. It's like, there's all of this stuff and it's like, selective outrage and, I see it too. But the thing is for me I can't always call out everything all at once. I don't keep up with everything, and I didn't feel like that was appropriate to include me in. If I had said something really awful, sure. There were some comments in there that was in the video I'm referring to that were awful and that I'm not happy that were said. But I don't know. Let's see. As soon as a bird, really? Birds? I'm glad mine don't bark at birds. Oh my goodness. I think I would be a much more miserable person with their barking. Yeah, I hope it does help. Right. Right. I agree, Liberty Farmer. And we're going after, like, why are we going after each other for things like that? There's so many other things we could go after each other for. That's like I was saying, I am genuinely, and I know that a lot of people disagree with how I'm doing this, and that's okay. You're allowed to disagree with me on this. I'm not asking everybody to agree with me, but that's why I personally have said publicly, I'm not going to go at Natasha for low blows. I don't want to do that. I don't want to body shame. I don't want to poke fun. I don't want to do any of those things because I don't want to go low. But it's hard for me when I see her going low at somebody else. Hey, Pickle Lover, especially about things that are so personal to a lot in this community, because I don't know, and there are probably a lot of people here that have struggled with addiction or have a loved one that has struggled with addiction that just haven't spoken up about it. But I've seen for myself a lot of other people, and there's a lot of people out here that would hit home with. And I wasn't looking at the chat at that time, but from what I've heard, it wasn't great, and that's disheartening to me. It's disheartening for me. If we're gonna stand up here and say that people's children shouldn't be mentioned and people's parenting and CPS should never be called and all of that stuff, and I believe that fully, well, that goes on all sides, guys. Like, we don't know anything about anybody. We don't know. You don't know. I don't know who's behind half of your screen names. I don't know anything that's going on in like any of your personal lives. And I would never, you never know who you're gonna offend. But I mean, I do think she truly believes what she said. So, unfortunately, yeah, behaviors do need to change. Yep. And I think that's what I'm saying, guys. And I know a lot of people don't like this. I know a lot of people don't like me saying this, but it's not just Natasha. It's not just Natasha. And, I also like to preface it with, because I see it elsewhere, it doesn't mean it's the fault of like any one person. I think it's become this perfect storm that's just gotten out of control at this point. I was trying to leave subs out of it, but I think it's like a perfect storm of subs and creators and everything just getting like, kind of like rolling downhill and picking up momentum. And I think sometimes people lose track of what's actually important here. And I just, sometimes some of the stuff I'm seeing now is not stuff I was seeing a month ago. And I have a problem with it. I do. And I'm allowed to have a problem with things. It's my right. I have a platform. I have a voice, and I'm allowed to express how I feel without feeling like I'm going to, get threats or, people coming to me saying that I'm a horrible person for it, because I've gotten those emails, guys. I've gotten emails telling me that because I think a certain way that somebody can't support me. And it's not like, it'd be one thing if, what I was doing or saying was something that was like really awful and you can't support me because I'm on here saying like racist stuff, or I'm on here, using, language that's really inappropriate towards like marginalized group. If I was doing that and you couldn't support me for that, yes, that is a good reason to not support somebody, 100%. But because it's like, I have an opinion about something like and I'm the nicest person ever. So, the thing that the fact that it's going to be like, coming at me, like at me personally, like, I'm the nicest person. I like most people on here very much. Just because people are behaving a certain way, I don't think that makes them a bad person necessarily. I think some people are on here with good intentions, but things have kind of spiraled. I do think that there are some subs on here that purposely go channel to channel, purposely to cause issues, and to make people like, find out what makes people like kind of lose it and then kind of instigate it. I think there are a lot of instigators on here, that's for sure. And I don't think that's right, because people will see, they'll be like, well, if this happens to this person, I know they're going to react this certain way. And for them, I guess maybe it's entertainment. I don't know what it is. But I'm not standing for it, guys. I don't like it. I don't want it here on my channel. I can't control what goes on everybody's channels. Like that's, when if I see certain people that I don't, or a situation that I don't care for, I leave. I do. Yeah, I think, Nancy, I think you're right. I think many people reported it, because, it really wasn't appropriate, guys. I'm sorry. There's no other way to look at it. We all do have a voice, right? And we should be able to, because how is one person allowed to have a platform and say whatever they want? But if somebody else says something that's an opinion, suddenly it's the end of the world. Like I'm seeing a lot of that too and it's like there's I mean, I hate saying there's sides, but I feel like there are, and I don't think it's just two sides on here. I think it's been divided into maybe 4 even more sides at this point. And it's putting creators in it's not just putting subs in a bad position, it's putting creators in a bad position too. I truly believe that. Because, we can't keep up with what's going on with who, and I commented on this person's channel and they're not getting along with this person. So, oh my God, like what they're going to think this. And at this point, I just don't care. I don't have a copy of the video now, but it's really unpleasant. So if somebody else does, I don't know, but it's hard to listen to. I'm going to let you know that right now. It's very hard to listen to. Yeah, but I'm sure somebody does. I didn't actually. No, I don't think I do have it. I don't think I do. I have some recent stuff, but I've kind of stopped doing all of that because who has the time? But yeah, like, oh, you do? Yeah, I don't know how to send things like that either. Let's see. I'm trying to read. Hi, Natasha, victim. But right, that's the thing, guys. It's like, I just, it wasn't like this even like a month ago. And I just want people to get along. I just want people. Right. That's the thing. And people expect everybody to know what's going on behind the scenes and know, because I don't like somebody, like now everybody else can't like that person either. And even if they don't say it directly, it's implied sometimes. And it's nuts, guys, because they're like, even me who gives zero, F's on here about many things, because I am perfectly capable of separating myself from the internet and being like, you know what, at the end of the day, when I shut the thing on my laptop, when I shut that down, I know what I've done on here and I know what I haven't. And I'm not gonna, if I've done something I need to apologize for, I will be the first one to apologize. But no, not for something like that. But it's like, there have been times that I've commented on somebody's a live that they've done. And I'm going to be honest, guys, I don't always listen to the full live when I watch it. All right. Like sometimes they're hours long. Right. And sometimes I'll watch like a fair chunk of them, or I'll kind of skip through and kind of get the basic gist of it. And, I'll comment on it and be like, oh, I agree with some points that you made. And then, I find out later that there was something in there that has set off this enormous bomb. And everybody is like all in an outrage about it. And then here I am, I've commented on it, but and I thought about it. I'm like, should I delete? I'm like, no, I'm not deleting anything because I shouldn't have to. I'm allowed to agree with points and topics and, everything like that. We all should be. But people, and now even myself, I've been hesitant to comment on things a lot of the time because I'm like, if I do this, will is cause, like, people are, someone's going to take that personally, or what I mean, guys. And it's ridiculous and I'm tired of it. And I can't imagine that you guys aren't tired of it either. Right. Yes. I agree with you 100%. A lot of them don't know who they are, or what they stand for. Right. I agree with you. And they do. You are spot on with that. And that's what I say. At the end of the day, I know who I am and I know who I'm not. And when I was told in an email, actually it was 2 emails, that I was siding with Natasha because I was, acknowledging that she's a human being and that I don't want to fat shame her and go at her for low things. Apparently, and I was also speaking to somebody who I'm friendly with who's still part of her community, because I came from her community. So yes, I am still friendly with some people over there. If that bothers you, I don't know what to tell you, but it doesn't mean that I don't stand for what I stand for. I also don't, bend and waver depending on what people want me to do, or what brings me in income, or what I mean. Like, I'm not going to change my beliefs for anybody. Or else I'm truly wrong, which I'm also open to, though. If I'm truly wrong about something, please educate me, because that's how we grow. Sorry, my trusty energy drink here. You're probably terrible for me, but hey, Audrey. But I agree with you. And right, not a single sub needs to explain why they've stopped supporting or watching. Right. I think they have too. You're spot on, Crime Scene Cleaner. Thank you. You are spot on all of this. And that's a fact, guys. Like, if I'm not comfortable with something that's going on somewhere, I'm just not going to go there. And it doesn't mean that I don't like the person. You know, I hate that it's always implied that way, because sometimes it couldn't be further. Sometimes I don't like the person. Yeah, that's very true. Sometimes I don't like the person, but not all the time. Sometimes I just don't like the behaviors that, you know, has started happening, or what I see going on. Or sometimes there's things in the chat that I just don't even want my name associated with, because people screenshot things constantly. And, you know, God forbid your name happens to be in that. And I'm like, no, you know what? I'm not even going to take that risk. But that's the, you know, that's the thing. Yeah, right. Hold on. I missed a couple things that I want to read here. Hold on. Hey, thank you, Bryn. I appreciate that, because I really try to take it from that way. I don't want to have an us versus them thing, and I know it doesn't make me super popular. I try not to come on here when I'm angry. I know I'd probably, I really, really try to keep an open mind, and I try to, like, you know, explain myself I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it, because, you know, when push comes to shove, guys, I'm also part of this community. You know, long before I came on here talking about anything, I've been in this community for almost a year. I've known a lot of these people in here for almost a year, whether it be by the name they go by now or others. And, you know, I feel like I have a right to talk about things that go on in here because I'm a part of the community. I'm not just coming on here to, you know, comment on something I don't know anything about for, you know, for clout or anything like that. I don't identify with that at all. I'm here just talking because it's something I am a part of. What I'm really on here for is for what I'm going to be talking about tonight, which is the troubled teen industry and the programs and abuse that I was subjected to as a teenager. And because my story is going to be told publicly through a documentary that's coming out, I wanted to tell it myself first. So, right, you don't have to 100% right. Yes. So there are people here, right, that I'll go in their chat, and I don't agree with how they say things all the time. I certainly don't agree with everything that they say, but I go in there, first of all, because I like the people that are chatting, and I want to chat with my friends. And, you know, that happens to, or I've gone into creators' channels. I have no idea who they are if I see somebody I know, or, you know, I think that they're making a point that I agree with, and it's my right to agree with it. And, you know, I just, you know, if you're on here and you're going to talk about somebody, you need to be able to, like, take it back. Nobody comes on here and can expect to talk about somebody and then not have somebody respond, you know, like, that's just not reasonable. You know, if I was to speak about, like, you know, I'm speaking about Natasha, right? I've spoken about Natasha. If Natasha wants to speak about me, she has every right to. And, you know, if she feels it need be, she can be as mean as she wants about it. I mean, it's not going to bother me, first of all, but, you know, that's her right to handle it however she wants to. It's okay not to 100% agree with a creator. And just because you're in a chat doesn't mean you agree. There are people in here who have emailed me and told me that they don't agree with particular things that I say, but you know what? They come here, you know, chat after chat, because they enjoy it. And that's what matters, you know, and people are, like, afraid to go places because it's like you might get screenshotted, or, you know, and I don't like that dynamic either. I think that's been going on since, like, the dawn of YouTube lives, or lives anywhere. I'm going to be honest with you. I mean, I don't think that's unique to our community. I think that's very common, but I can't stand it. You know, like, if somebody's talking ill about me, which I know doesn't happen often, but I do know that it has. I've seen it. But with people that I probably deserve it from, honestly. So, like, I'm not angry about it, because, first of all, I don't care. A lot of it is inaccurate, and people assuming they know me or why I'm here or whatever. And you know what? If the shoe fits, wear it. If not, throw it away, or throw it in their face if you feel the need to do that, which, you know, people who don't know me or have never watched anything of mine. But, you know, and, you know, like I said, though, guys, like, if I'm just, you know, I'm only using Natasha as, I don't want to speak ill of her in this chat, guys. Not today. Not right now. Not today. And I hope people can respect that. But I'm just using her because I have spoken ill of her, right? So if there are people that support her who speak ill of me, I mean, I'm opening myself up to that. I can't be outraged about that. That would be silly of me to be outraged. Thank you, AJ. I appreciate that. I do. Well, Abby, I know. And I know a lot of people have, like, other experiences with a lot of other people on here. And I know there's a lot of feelings involved. And I think that there's a lot of emotions running high right now, too. Because, like I said, it's comments like, you know, saying those things about parenting and addiction. and it hits home with people. And I think it does rile up emotion in some people. And people are kind of on a hair trigger right now. And, let me tell you guys, I say this in every live, probably multiple times, but I used to have a fairly large Instagram following. And you get paranoid and stuff. It's very common. And a lot of the time there is a lot of stuff going on that's sneaky. There's a lot of sneaky people that, don't like what you're doing, or even that they do, they want to take you down because they enjoy the drama, or they find a weakness or a crack in you. And they want to exploit that because what they get off on it or something. I don't even know. So if you're going to be up on a platform, you gotta be ready for all of that. And it got the best of me before. I'm going to do everything in my being to not let that happen to me here. But, it's a hard place to be. And you start like, a lot of the times, you do get stabbed in the back. There are going to be people that, use you or, turn on you. And it's unfortunate. It really is. But that's the way it is. And I've unfortunately had to learn that the hard way. Not so much here because, when I'm here, guys, I don't feel like I offend anybody entirely. Like, I don't think I'm doing anything in an unkind manner or inappropriate manner. And the things that I have, like I said, there was a video that I made about Natasha that was rude and mean, and I took it down. I took it down because it wasn't right. It wasn't right. I have so many more things I can talk about her than, making fun of her weight. That's really unacceptable, and I don't want to do that. I just don't. Hey, Akasha. I'm seeing some new names in here, which I love, guys, because I know a lot of people watch me, and I like to see new people in the chat, too. Because a lot of you guys I actually know from elsewhere, and I've been waiting, and like I said, I am still friendly with people who support Natasha. So, if you see me in a chat and I'm talking to them, and actually this was in, this happened to be in Dorothy's chat. So, this was, I wasn't like, I actually don't even like go to any of their channels, honestly. I mean, I don't even know half of them who have them. I've seen a couple of them, but not that many. But there were some people from, Natasha's, some of the people who kind of are open-minded, and they, they'll be like, they'll look at that. A lot of people are open-minded, believe it or not. And, maybe they still choose to support Natasha, and that's their right, guys. It's not a crime to support Natasha Cooper. It's just not. But I'm friendly with them. So if people see me in that chat and I'm speaking friendly to somebody and they can't support me because of that, and I've lost my way and I'm not sticking to my guns, like, it bothers me. It does. Because what a ridiculous thing to say. Like, have I changed anything that I've said? Do I subscribe to her? Do I like go in there and like, do I prop her up? I don't do that. I stick to my guns. If I'm wrong about something and I've been proven wrong, then yeah, I'll apologize. I will. Because that's how it should be. If you're wrong about something, you need to apologize for it and make it right. And that's the other thing, though. It's like, if you go on here and you comment something, or I'm on a live and I say something, you need to own it. Like, if somebody says that you did so and so, like, to just pretend that nobody's done anything wrong isn't reasonable. Own it. Own what you say. You don't have to be sorry. Nobody's asking you to say you're sorry. Just own it. And if enough people are saying, this is going on, you need to really take a look at that. You need to be like, why are so many people saying this? Because if you don't, it's just going to get out of control, and more people don't feel comfortable really anywhere at this point. And I don't think that's any creator's intention. No creator comes on here with the intention of alienating their audience. I truly believe that. I know some people will be like, well, Natasha Cooper, well, we're not going to talk about her right now. And I don't think that any creator comes on here with the intention. I think a lot of people get very caught up in things. I think a lot of people become very untrue to themselves when they're on here. Because I've been through this, guys. I'm not talking about this because it's like speculative. Like, I've lived through this. I have done these things. When you get a little bit of influence on that, a lot of the time, like, with great influence comes great responsibility. And I believe that truly. And at some point it does become your responsibility to try and, reel things back in. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't know a solution to that. I don't know how to do it. I'm not saying that, like, I know a better way, because I don't. Hey, Peach, I was just thinking about you today, actually. I was like, I haven't seen you in a while. I don't know why it crossed my mind, but let's see. Hold on. Right. Oh, hold on. If they support. Who's oh my god, hold on, I'm trying to read, guys. I need glasses so desperately. Yes. Right, it's not right. Like we're not gonna like anybody's welcome to like or support whoever they want, guys. And I don't think people should be judged for it either. Especially if they feel that they have all the information that they need and they've made that choice, and that's on them. And if you guys think that like people don't know like about Natasha at this point, I beg to differ. I think a lot of the people that are there do know, and they still want to be part of that community, which is their right. I know this is a very unpopular opinion, but there have been like a whole lot of people talking to their blue in the face about her, and those videos do come up and people suggested that like her, and they do see them. So I think that, well, like, if there's new people in there, but the information is out there, and I've never wanted to, hey, Amanda, I haven't seen you in, really? Okay. I was going to say, I know who you are. I remember you. Thank you. I appreciate that from you. Thank you so much. That's what I'm trying to do. That's what I'm trying to do. Like, absolutely. And I try to be in the middle, guys. Like, I don't care for Natasha. I don't. But I also think that if people do care for her, I don't think that. I think you guys know what I'm trying to say, though. I think that a lot of the time, people, the information's out there, and like I said, it comes up in your suggested. I have people that have channels that are supportive of her come up in mine. I know that a lot of people who have commented negative stuff on my videos, which is their right to do. It comes up in their suggested, because I'm always like, well, here you are commenting. Well, it comes up in their suggested, so they click on it because they don't know. And I think that as of now, I mean, if people are over there, that's because they support her, and I don't feel that we're bringing awareness to anything at this point. I don't. I feel like if you're like over there, because I've had a conversation with people I'm friendly with who are still over there and really enjoy her, like. This is what one of them said to me, and I'm not going to call them out by name because we know how that goes, and they don't want me to. But they listen. They listen. I don't think they've come into the chat yet, but they listen. And they were saying, if they were to leave, like, right, so they come over here and they come into a lot of our chats and stuff. They don't really see it as much different at this point. They're like, what's different? And I can't help but agree. And I don't think that's why most people came on here in the first place. That's the thing. I think people have really lost sight of what should be going on, and it's gotten out of control. And I wanted to keep subs out of it. I really did. But the more I've kind of looked into it, the more I see that there are people that really don't want people to stop going at each other. And a lot of them are subs. And if I see one of them come into my chat, I will call them out. I do have, is my outside cat meowing? Oh God. He might be. I might have to go let him in. But yeah, you can't get anyone to see it until they see it for themselves. And that's the thing, guys. Like, if somebody has an opinion, you're not going to change their mind either way. Just like there are people on here right now who you could say anything that you wanted, and they're not going to change how they feel about Natasha. Well, there are people that feel that way about her. So, right. I don't. Right. I think, but see, Man Extreme, I think a lot of people do put their best self forward when they're on here for the most part. Some people are really real and raw and honest. And, I think that there are people like that. But, for me, I, of course I'm going to put my best self forward. Of course, like because I do have a temper, guys. I do. I can be really angry. I've worked on that a lot. But I don't want to come on. I've pushed back lives before because I'm angry, and I say things I don't mean when I'm angry. And usually when I take a step back and I think about it logically, I'm like, you know what, I don't want to do that, because a lot of the time I will, and I am impulsive. So, sometimes I've wanted to react to something without knowing the facts first. And let me tell you, some of those situations that I almost did, I'm glad I didn't, because I was wrong. I was wrong. And yeah, guys, that's the thing. Like, I think everything's just gotten out of hand. I don't want to, you've cried. Well, no, there's nothing wrong with that. I don't think there's anything wrong with crying. I mean, because sometimes people, as far as I'm concerned, this is a community to me. I certainly don't get out much these days. Given, I just don't. I don't get out much these days. So, when I'm on here, like talking to you guys is a lot of the social time that I have. And I feel like I've gotten to know a lot of you very, very personally. I do talk to several of you behind, like not behind the scenes. I hate using it, but through email. And it's just, I don't know, guys, like a lot of good people in here, a lot of creators have really good intentions. But it's so easy to get off track. And I was getting off track. And I was definitely doing that because it seems like, all anybody wants to talk about is one particular topic. And that's what's getting talked about. And at what point am I uncomfortable continuing to do it? And, because nobody comes on here not wanting to grow their channel. I don't care what anybody says. I like to talk, so I am more than happy to talk to myself like forever. I will talk to myself. But, nobody comes on here to not be heard. Like for me, like I said, I created this channel from 2011, but, I originally was going to start doing lives. I'm not looking at the chat right now really quick. So if I miss anything, I'm so sorry. But, I came on here because I wanted to speak my truth about what I went through as a teenager. I wanted to tell my story before it was told, not told for me because I participated in it, but you guys know what I mean. And I was going to wait to do it. But then I started, it struck a chord with me, some of the stuff that I was seeing. But a lot of and like I said, if I see somebody in here that I think is one of them doing it, I'll call them out on it. But there were a lot of people that were over on Natasha's channel, when I was, that were only there to cause problems and to rile people up and to troll. And they were really toxic. And I think a lot of those people have come over here at this point. And they're just doing it here now. So it's like, it's just, it's like the same thing. And I don't know how to fix it. It's not on my chat. My chat is usually actually always, generally on track and really respectful. But elsewhere, and I understand that I'm a small chat, but once the chat starts to get really big, as a creator, I haven't had to experience that quite yet, but I can imagine it's really hard to kind of rein back in. And I think that puts creators in a rough situation and have a rough choice to make about how they want to handle it. And I get that. I recognize that. But I just think at this point for me, I'm going to comment on what goes on in this. Yeah, I know when to pick my battles is what I'm going to say. Because people will say, they're like, well, you don't comment on this, this, and this. And I'm like, first of all, I can only comment on one thing at a time, guys. Doesn't mean I don't see it. But if I try and talk about multiple people, you'll have no idea who I'm talking about. And people are just going to assume I'm talking about one person when I'm not, because I'm very confusing sometimes. And, that's not going to help anybody. That's just going to create a huge, huge mess. But yeah, I do pick my battles. I do. And I do see things elsewhere. The problem is that every time I've tried to express that, people think I'm talking ill of the creator when it's not. It's not. Because I know some people personally, and I know that this isn't what they want or are intending. And people they're not able to separate it. They're not able to separate, take a look at the situation, guys. Let's look at, all sides, right? So let's, Natasha's side, our side, everything else, like my side. I don't even know. I don't, you guys know what I mean. So take the names out of it. Take every name out of it, including Natasha's, guys. Take everything that they've done out of it. Take the people out of it, your loyalties, just look at the behaviors that are happening. And don't tell me that you don't see similar things going on different channels all over the place. Because if you don't see it, then I strongly suggest you kind of try and look at it from that standpoint. And then people get butthurt that, for lack of a better word, that they're like, well, we're not doing this, but we're only doing this because you did this first. And it's like, no one's going to ever figure out. Yes, I do think a lot of people have great things to offer, and that's fine. Nobody has, like I said, guys, I don't want to bash Natasha right now because she is grieving. But I also understand that there are people who don't like her, and nothing anybody says is going to change that. And that's your right. That's your right. You don't have to. And like I said, I'm very nice to people, or else, yeah. Well, see, the thing that I'm guilty of doing is I'll go hard for people that wouldn't do the same thing for me. And I don't really want to do that anymore because I don't, especially on here, guys, there's a lot of sneaky people that just want to weasel their way in to, to get close to you just so they can stab you in the back. And it's very real and it's really unfortunate. But that's just how this game goes. There are people here that get off on causing chaos wherever they go, and they're not truly a part of any community. They jump from one to one to one just to create chaos. It's what they do. And I am too trusting a lot of the time, and I am very nice. That's also a thing. I'm not like a mean person, by nature. And when it comes down to it, I see people as human beings, and I want to do better. I was just angry for a while as well, though. I was angry. I didn't like what I was seeing. But, when I've kind of started to think about it, though, a lot of what I was seeing wasn't, it's gotten bad everywhere. And I that's why I kind of started my own thing, because I wasn't comfortable places anymore. I didn't like some of the stuff I was seeing. I didn't like some of the bullying I was seeing elsewhere as well. And I didn't care for it. So I kind of just wanted my own chat, because really why I go to the people's channels is because I really like the chat. I like all of you people. Like, I've chatted with most of you in here for a really long time now, and I really enjoy that. Yeah, people start fights just because they're bored. That's what trolling is. But there are people that are taking it to a really bad extreme. Like the fact that creators, and I'm going to keep names of creators out of it right now. But everybody knows what I'm talking about. Everybody knows. And it's not just one creator either. But the fact that there are people that are upset or afraid for their children and afraid to leave the house, and receiving calls that are just gross, or, having CPS called on them like so many times, and, having to have conversations with their children. They shouldn't, it's ridiculous, guys. Like, it needs to stop on all fronts. You don't have to like somebody. You don't. Nobody cares if you like somebody or not. You don't have to. But you can't go do stuff like that just because you don't like somebody on the internet. It doesn't work like that. And, the fact that people don't feel safe is unacceptable to me. Now, I know people, and I get it. I know what the arguments are from both sides. I know what they are. But, just as a human, a person, like, I've received texts, and I actually received a phone call right before I came on here. And it's from Los Angeles numbers. And I don't know who it's coming from. They have it's like a robotic voice, like with insults at me. And I've gotten 2 calls and 2 text messages now from a 213 number, which is Los Angeles. And I don't know. And that's my fault for giving out my phone number, I guess. I mean, most people that have my phone number on here, I trust very much, but not all of them. And I just, right. Well, these trolls wouldn't say it in person. Not to me anyway. I don't put up with that. But that's the thing, guys. I'm also open to criticism. Like, if you wanna, like, yeah. And I know that there are people that have my phone number who don't like me at this point. I know that. But at the same time, it's inappropriate. Like, that's my personal phone number. If you're gonna call it and have all these insults and stuff, like, if you're gonna take the time and email me something nasty because you don't agree with, and I've gotten some nasty emails, guys, that are just really low because you don't like something I'm saying or whatever. Like, why are we doing that? There are so many things that we can talk about that don't have to be low blows, right? I mean, I always said that, though. Natasha, like her or not, guys, she's a very smart woman, and she is very witty. And I think she said something recently that she's like, I want to go at people for wits. Hey, Nat, and I'm down with that. Like, I like to think that I'm quite intelligent myself, and I could do a battle of the wits. Because she is very intelligent. I'm sorry, like, unpopular opinion, I guess, but I call it how I see it. Sorry, my mouth is getting dry. Yeah. And that's the thing. Like, we have people from all communities in here, all communities. We have people from communities that I don't even know about. I'm not familiar with. And I think that's great. And, I think I've had maybe one instance where things got a little heated, a little tense, and I was a little unsure as to how to handle the situation. But I think it kind of blew over. And, I like that, though. And you know what? You guys are giving me, like, faith in that, because I know everybody knows at this point where I stand and what it is. And the fact that people do come in here still is, I like that. And like I said, like, if you see me elsewhere, I am friendly with people who are still a part of Natasha's channel. Like, I am. I was over there for a while, under a different name. But I was over there for a while. And I just, and I'm not going to stop my friendships with somebody based on something that's silly, they don't they don't agree with a lot of the stuff I say, and they definitely tell me so. They certainly don't come in here and chat all the time. But if they did, I would hope that they wouldn't be, and nobody would be rude or mean, because anybody's welcome here. Anybody. But that's the thing, guys. I'm tired of this, like, this never-ending cycle of, if we don't, I don't know what it's going to take. And I understand that's what the drama community is, guys. I understand that entirely. Like, you kind of go at one person and they have a go at you. And that's a whole genre here on YouTube. It's quite popular. Like, there's a right way to do it without going low. And that's what I want. If I'm going to speak on something, I don't want to do it from like a low standpoint. And I don't think anyone else should either. But, at the same time, I think that, there comes a point where, and I'm going to acknowledge this too. Like, I know I'm full of unpopular opinions today. So full of them. Here we go. So I think there's some truth to, I agree we can all do better. Yes, Nana Sue, you are so right. I'm going to say it right now. Like, there is some truth to people saying that using somebody's name, and doing content about it grows your channel. Like, that's not inaccurate, guys. And it's because, and what I've always said, it's because there's a lot of people that want to talk about it, because there's a lot of people who have felt really hurt, one way or another. So when people have come into my chat, like, a lot of the time, these are people that have had like just experiences, with people in elsewhere, and they want to talk about it. And that's why I'm like, really, that's why I'm here, is to kind of provide a place that's like, where people can talk about their experiences, because I don't think that people should be told that they can't talk about things that they've went through. Like, I was part of this community too, so I get that. But I'm not going to do is, I think there comes a point where I just, it's hard for this to stop when, like, the drama is what brings in, like, money, I guess. And I'm saying that all around. I'm saying that about Natasha as well. Like I said, I don't want to talk about her though, because she's grieving and I respect that. I do. But I'm just talking about her in like passing. But that's what gets the views in, guys. And there's no way around that. There's no nice way of putting it. It is, when you're on here, talking about somebody else, you are getting the views. You have people coming in here. You're getting subscribers. If you're monetized, you're getting the super chats. I am also shocked Mandy has not made an appearance yet. Yes, Peach. I am also of that thought. And that's the thing, guys. So that's how it gets. That's how this cycle begins, right? And I think a lot of people come on here with the best intentions, but it can quickly get out of control. I get it. I do. It's like, if you're looking at it from a business standpoint, it's supply and demand. So when I'm looking at the chat, right, I try and read the room. I try to see what people want to talk about, because I can see when people stop watching if I'm boring them. I can see it. Yeah, I'm waiting for it too, Peach. That's going to be an interesting day, let me tell you. So, I can tell if I'm saying something that people, you can see it. I can see right up in the top there when I start talking about somebody, the people roll in. And I'm not going to do something that's not me. So, that's what I'm saying. No. Amanda, I agree with you. I'm going to trip over. If I try and say your screen name, I'm going to trip over it and I'm going to butcher it, because I don't know. I stutter with things like that. So Amanda's you know what I mean? I have a hard time saying that. I always have. But it's true though. If people are talking about you, you have the right to talk back. I agree. And that's how the drama thing works. And I think there's an okay way of doing it. I do. I totally do. I just don't agree with how she has done it a lot of times. I think that a lot of people have gotten hurt, but that's not just her anymore. Like, it's not just her. It was even me. Like I said, I hold myself accountable too. Amanda. All right. Cause I swear to you, I have a hard time pronouncing that. I try though. I try. But yeah, not everybody's looking for drama, which I really like, because a lot of people will come over here for that. And I really, really appreciate that, because, I want to talk about other things. And actually, you want to know what was really encouraging is when I've done my stuff about my experience with exposing the troubled teen industry, I've actually gotten I have more viewers than I have right now when coming in for that. And that was really encouraging, because that was like, you know what, here's me doing a topic that isn't drama. Well, it's going to be welcoming trolls of other sorts, but it's not drama about anybody in the community that I'm in, and people are interested. And I didn't expect that. And that was really encouraging. So guys, here's the thing. If you really don't want drama and you really want change, when a creator is doing a topic that isn't, about drama, go in and support them. Make a point to do that. Make a point to hit that like button, make a point to comment in that chat and be supportive, because people are going to do what, people want them to do. on here, especially if you're monetized and what you get as an income is based off of your numbers. Because when that's the case, like, you have every reason to want to, do what people want you to do, I guess. Especially when you're using it as an income. I'm glad, Nat. Thank you. Because that's why I'm here in the first place, believe it or not. And that's what I want. And I'm really like, that's the thing, guys. But seriously, I can't highlight that enough. Like, guys, if somebody is talking about something that isn't, somebody in the community, go support them, please. Just go support them. It might not even be something you like. Just make a point to pop in there, hit that like button, and maybe say something. That's all. You don't even have to stay. Because if people, I'm going to be on here tonight talking about wilderness therapy and what I experienced there, which isn't all bad. The bad stuff that I'll be talking about is next. But I know that there were some questions about it, and I'm going to be an open book. If people want to ask me questions about my experience, I will be open about it. And I'll say it here right now. Major trigger warning on content tonight, because there is like abuse of a lot of sorts that will be mentioned. And I know that can be really triggering for some people. And I want to make sure that people know that. Because the last thing I want to do is to say something that kind of sets somebody off into a really like bad depression, because I'm triggered by some things too. There are things that trigger me that I don't even know trigger me or why they trigger me. And I've spent the past 4 years working that out. But this topic triggers me. So especially when I get to the next part of my journey in this, you might get to hear me cry. But drama, and the people who show up for the drama, guys. Take a look at who shows up for the drama. It's a lot of people that are trying to like stir up chaos, and you'll see, you attract, what is it? I don't even know the phrase. Is it like attract bees with honey or vinegar or whatever? I don't know. You guys know what I mean. But like if you're doing drama, you're going to attract people that kind of perpetuate that. If you're doing something else, you'll attract a different crowd. I mean, for me, I kind of attract a mix of both. And that's what I like about it. But at the same time, like I said, I've been talked about in some chats of people that are Natasha supporters, but I deserve it. If I'm up here talking about her, I deserve to be talked about. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Yeah, well, that's why I'm here, because first of all, I want to, like, this is something that's just kind of coming out and coming to light with everything with this. And I want anybody who's experienced something like this to feel like they can come forward, because I have spent my entire adult life, and this is what has like really impacted my whole life. It is what has, I don't want to say ruined my life, because that's a really horrible, I don't know. I've carried it with me, and I've never dealt with it until very recently, and it's hard. And if I can reach one parent that might be considering this kind of place for their child, that's what matters to me, because these places are still up and running, and they're doing this stuff right as I'm speaking right now. Hold on, I'm trying to read. Yes. Well, actually, it is on TikTok though. Right. Peach, you're right. It's actually a huge community on TikTok. I have somebody who has a really large following on TikTok, talking about it, who is going to come on my panel. I just wanted to be sure. I'll be honest with you, because I told them I was going to be doing this, and it was at a time where I was just talking about Natasha, and I was like, I don't want to bring her on here when I'm talking about nonsense. Like, I don't want to do that, because that's her reputation as well. And so I was like, I'm going to do at least a few lives about this before I bring you on. Because, you're going to come on here, and then you're going to have your people come on here, and they're going to have no idea what my channel's about, because they're going to have no idea who these people are. But yeah, I agree. I think that there are a lot of people on here that are real. There are some really good people that are creators on here, guys. I know it's hard to see sometimes. I know that we've been burned all over the place here. But there are some really very real people, and even people where things have gotten really out of control lately. Behind that is a good person that had good intentions, and things have just spiraled. That's my opinion, though. I can't speak for them. I mean, maybe they see it differently. But yeah, let's all be nice, guys. Let's all be nice. Please, guys. Please. We all can get along in here. Just for the sake of this live, guys. All right, please. I know that. I know that people have their differences in here. I know that. And that's okay. I just, for right now, I kind of wanted to just kind of have a positive thing going on. And it's nothing personal on anybody. It's nothing personal. because I like everybody very, very much. I do. I like everybody until you've burned me. And even then I probably forgive faster than I should. But you know, I've kind of learned not to do that. But that's the thing. I give anybody a chance. Anybody. And I forgive, and I'm open. There was somebody who came in here who really criticized me very, very much on here, and they had a point, and I haven't addressed it since because I haven't figured it out. But you know, I'm not. I'm new to this, guys. So for me, like handling chat and stuff, I mean, I have things that are absolutely not allowed ever. Like if there's in here and it's just going to be, you know, you're gone and you're going to be blocked. And those things should be things that I would think are obvious to people, you know, such as making comments about, you know, marginalized groups or anything, any racism, homophobia, you know, transphobia. We don't do that here. We don't do that here. Any of that is going to get you booted immediately. So that's, I mean, I like to think that that's common sense, but it's not, I guess. So, you know, but here's the thing, guys. So like, you know, but other stuff, like I have to kind of struggle as to what I allow and what I don't, because while I want people to have a voice, I also want people to handle things privately. So yes, a block button is a very good tool to use with that. You know, but sometimes people will come in here and they'll see somebody that they have an issue with and they'll kind of pick at them, you know, like poke at them. And I think a lot of things really should be handled privately. And yes, I will be having another run. I got to do that today. I don't have a big channel, so I don't have like a need for a whole lot of moderators, but I do have another one that I'm going to be introducing later. And Liberty is doing a great job, because if you can mod for Natasha, you can mod for... You gotta be up on your toes for that. I watched that, especially with the like the Petito case. Like those chats got huge. Like there were so many people in those chats. I like the small format though, because I actually get to see what you guys say. Because the bigger your chat gets, the harder it gets to keep up. Let me tell you. And being kind doesn't cost much. It doesn't. You know, there's no fault in being kind to somebody. And I think that, you know, the nice gals finish last here on YouTube. Like, you know, for me to acknowledge that, you know, I mean, I noticed, I said it and I lost people watching, you know, just for saying that Natasha is grieving and I don't want to talk about her. And that's kind of gross, guys. I'm not going to lie. You know, I don't know why we can't acknowledge people as humans, despite what they've done to us. Like, let's just let it go just for right now, guys. And I know that, you know, people don't always have that courtesy for somebody else. I get that. And I've seen it, but at the same time, that's what I'm doing here. Just me. That's what I'm going to do. And I know that you guys are capable of being respectful, because you guys can't fool me anymore, because you are here. I see you be respectful here. I'm trying to read here. Yeah, I actually have never blocked anybody, because, well, I don't put myself in a position where anybody would really come at me in a way that's, you know, something I can't handle or anything like that. I'm a very nice person. You know, I am. And even things that I've said that I think are mean aren't really even that mean by other standards. I've had people, like, I was up here apologizing for things I said elsewhere, and people were like, that's not even mean. Why are you apologizing for it? Well, to me, it's mean. Just because I would never say things that way. But that's just me. Like, to each their own. And, you know, I'll also be the first person to defend anybody who's being, you know, eaten alive by a group of people. Like, I don't care what side you're on. If you're, like, you know, getting eaten alive by a huge chat that are just like ripping you apart, or, you know, I'm going to be the first one to say something about it. And I have. I think a lot of you know me under a different name. I'm not going to disclose that, because I am BeePlus now, and that the transformation is complete. But I have always stood up for people. And it's never, you know, it's kind of gross that, you know, if you stand up for somebody, so many, like, you know, not everybody, there's a lot of kind people on here, but the amount of people that actually enjoy seeing, you know, the meanness is just, it's weird to me. I don't get it. But, you know, that's the thing. Like, we have reality TV. But the difference between reality TV and the drama community, guys, is that reality TV is, a lot of it's scripted. And, like, you know, while there are real emotions, it's really staged. But then, like, at least in our corner of the drama channels, like, these are real people behind these screens, guys. Like, you know, this isn't scripted. You know, there are some times that people will like collab behind the scenes. Like, it's more in like larger channels. It's like, let's have a feud about this so we can get, you know, we can both get more subs. And, you know, and it works. It's definitely a strategy. I mean, I go to school for this. Like, I actually am in a class right now where we're learning about doing that. It's kind of weird, but that's the thing though. I think a lot of times people forget that there are real people on the other side of this. And you know, on all sides though, like, we're all humans, guys. I'm tired of the kids thing, guys. I'm really tired of it. I'm tired of anybody's parenting being brought into things. I'm tired of children being mentioned. I'm tired of the CPS nonsense. I'll tell you that. That shouldn't ever happen. Ever. Like, there's no reason for it, and I don't understand. But you know what the thing is that like I said, I'm starting to keep an eye out. I'm starting to look at who's where. Not who, I sound really creepy saying that. Oh my god, that sounds really wrong. I'm sounding like everything I don't stand for. All right, let me be clear. Like, so I'll be places, right? And I notice what people are saying. I'm trying to keep keep note, because I'm really trying to figure out how this all happened and why things are as bad as they are right now. Because I don't think there's one simple answer as to it either. I think that because it really wasn't this bad, guys. It really wasn't. You know, there was always drama. There was always patches of drama. And there was always these things that were like a huge spike in it. But it was never like, it's just evolved. It's something else. And I have a theory as to why it is, but I'm not going to say anything about it yet until I kind of put together. I'm a detective. I'm Detective BeePlus right now. I'm looking around. I don't think all is what it seems, is all I'm going to say. But that's the thing. I encourage anybody to have their own opinions. I know that there are a lot of people that don't care for certain creators here, and there are people like, I don't care for certain creators either. Like, I've been open about, that's why what I've been talking about for as long as I have. But I also don't think I do it in a way that's inappropriate. Personally, yeah, Detective BeePlus, and you know, I've appreciated that. There's some people that I do talk to privately that are, you know, still Natasha subscribers, and they really support her. And I like to bounce ideas off of them, because there's some things that people are right about. And I have I'm not going to be stubborn and be like, no, I'm going to just feel this way. I mean, I'm not, but I'm also not going to ask anybody in my chat to feel differently than how they do either, because there are people that I know have been personally affected by certain things. Or have been dragged really badly by certain people. And I think that they have every right to be angry. And that's what my chat is for people to kind of talk about it. And that's why I'm kind of doing it. I mean, look at my channel. I've been on here for a month. And I mean, I think the fact that I have almost 500 subscribers is really awesome. So I'm not at all. Yes. Thank you, Crime Scene Cleaner. You are spot on with your comments today. Spot on. You know, but like, I'm not, yeah, I don't tell people how to feel here. You know, I know that there are people that have had bad experiences with a lot of different people, but it's between them, right? So, you know, I want this to, like, that's why I'm here. Like, I have, like, the fact that I have almost 500 subscribers, guys, like, that's amazing. I didn't think I would grow at all. But, you know, if you compare me to, like, you know, anything else, like, in the grand scheme of things, like, you know, I'm not growing my channel off of, you know, being nice, you know, but it's who I am, and I'm not going to change who I am for anybody or anything. Hey, Anxious for Peace. And I do think a lot of things should be handled privately. I do think that sometimes it's okay to come on here and stand your ground. I think that there are sometimes that people push things too far, or they've been prodding and poking for a really long time, and you just can't take it anymore. I get that, because that'll probably happen with me sometime. I'll be honest. I am perfectly capable of coming on here and being real angry, and I'm really going to try not to, but it could happen, guys. I do have a temper, and I'm not exactly perfect. Like, I've spent the past 4 years after my accident, like, really working on myself and, you know, getting to know myself and being comfortable in my own skin. And it was very humbling to need someone else to, you know, I've gotten past this now, but, you know, I went from, you know, not having much of a relationship with my parents to living with them because I, like, broke my back and couldn't take care of myself. So the fact that I can walk again and I can do anything anymore is, it's amazing. And but it's humbling. It's humbling. It really makes you like rethink who you are as a human and how you want to be. Because I used to be really judgmental. I used to be everything that I hate now. Actually, I used to work. I worked for a company. I broke my back. And I was always the first one to be like the whole get a job thing. But life isn't that simple, and you don't always know people's circumstances. So I always try to be kind to everybody, and I always try to have compassion, because you don't know people's situations. You don't. I just always was of the mindset that because I've struggled with things and I was able to do that, then everybody else should. But that's not true. That's not reasonable. So it really, it humbled me as a person. And that's what I'm trying to do. People need to learn words. Yeah, right. And I think people get those things like really tangled up. They're like, they're loyal. They really enjoy one creator. And that's what influence is, guys. Like, I'm not saying, I know it gets construed as like, and I do see, I'm sorry, guys. I know there are people who are going to disagree with what I'm about to say, and I'm really sorry about that. But, I do see cult-like behaviors. But when I'm talking about cult-like, guys, I'm not talking about like, the cults that convince people to go like murder a bunch of people, or the cults that I'm not using it in that sense of the word, not the ones you see on TV anyway. But I think that word can be, I don't know. Maybe it's influence, I guess. But it could be. I see it. There's a whole article. There's a whole study being done about it, about large creators, and even smaller ones, like even people that have like not even. I mean, there becomes influence, and the bigger that you get, the more influence you have, and people become really, really attached to creators. It's almost like a celebrity status now, and because they feel like they just want to be acknowledged in any way possible, whether it be bad or good. There was a whole study on this with somebody who has like the world record for the most swats. Right. Well, I don't do follow. Right. I'm not a follower either, which is why I was kind of not happy with myself for getting caught up in some of the stuff that I did. And when you find, right. Thank you, Liberty Farmer. Perfect. Yes, we're going to read that. When you find yourself going against your own beliefs to fit in with the crowd, you should probably question things. Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's what it was for me. And like I said, like, that's all. Like, for me, what happened, and, Natasha never did anything to me personally. She didn't. But there was just a lot going on that I didn't feel comfortable with. So I left. And I'm like the kind of person that'll pick up for the underdog. And I was seeing a lot of stuff that I didn't like. And a lot of it actually was in the chat. And I feel like that chat has moved elsewhere at this point. And, I don't think I'm the only person that feels that way. But, we don't all have to, I hate that though. I hate that, like, people can't go into somebody's chat without somebody screenshotting and be like, look who was in that chat. So that means that, no one, who cares? Like, stop taking screenshots, guys. Stop taking screenshots of people's chats. Like, just stop. Like, if you're sending me stuff like that, I understand that sometimes, like, that's the thing about influence, guys. People really feel close to you, and they feel really strongly about things. And I'm not saying it's like unreasonable, because that's the whole celebrity thing. And now online personalities are becoming celebrities. Like, we see this all the time. And, they think they're helping you. So they're like, I've gotten a few from people that I know were thinking they're helping me by showing me that something was said. And I get that. But at the same time, a lot of the time, it just creates this cycle of things. And then, like, people don't feel comfortable saying what they want or even commenting at all. Because if you're seen somewhere, then that means you support them 100%. Or I hate that, guys. Like, that needs to stop. It needs to stop. I don't appreciate it. And I don't think anybody else appreciates it either. It's like, when somebody says, can I write something that might be controversial? Like, and I say, yes, you may, like, as long as you do it respectfully. However, just be aware that there might be somebody lurking who's taking a screenshot of it. And I think that's really, really, really gross that I even have to say that. I just do. And that's the other thing though, like, just because somebody doesn't show those screenshots publicly doesn't mean it's not being sent to somebody, and that's going to influence how they feel about somebody, and it gets taken completely out of context. One of those examples that I'm seeing, a lot of clip channels are taking clips of things, and they're out of context. And if you had just stayed a little bit longer to see how things were handled, or the rest of the sentence, you would have seen, bye, Man Extreme. I'm glad you made it for this. Thank you so much. Oh, no, our snow is finally melting. Thank God. But I still can't leave my house and walk my dog. So, whatever. I mean, I can leave the house, but, the sidewalks are covered. And now I just lost my train of thought, but it's okay. Oh God, what was I saying? my brain doesn't work all the time, guys. I'm sorry. Wait. Yeah. Are you a Falling in Reverse fan, Peach? It's you know what, I don't believe in guilty pleasures. I like a lot of their music. I like a lot of their older stuff though. That's a little I don't know. I think a little immature for me at this point, but I still blast it from time to time. I mean, I'm all about some of that. You know, I'm not gonna lie to you. I've thought about, you know, having my intro on here, putting their song "Alone" on here, and just blasting that. But I didn't. Let's see. Yeah, because everybody can change. I believe that. I don't think people change overnight, though. I think that, you know, change needs to be consistent and legit. I will check my email when I have to do that later anyways. But like I said, guys, today is like a grad school day for me. So I have to. I don't have a choice. I have to get it done by 11:59 p.m. I have 2 assignments I got to get done. And then, yeah, I think a lot of us disliked him. I mean, we can talk music some other time because I have a feeling that you and I are into similar things, very similar things, actually. Yeah, nobody should ever, what am I trying to say? I just think that right now, in a time where there are so many people looking for connection and coming on here for that, because that's why I came on here in the first place. I never, in my wildest dreams, thought I was going to be talking to people and be friendly with people on YouTube. Never. Never. I never thought I would do that, but, you know, here we are. So, you know, and I think that people really, really just want connection. And then to see all of this turmoil, people just don't feel comfortable going anywhere anymore. And as a creator, for me personally, I want to tone it down. And if that's not your cup of tea and that's not your style and you don't like that, then, you know, I'm sorry. I like a lot of you very much. I like everybody who comes in my chat has been really good. I think I've had maybe 1 or 2 people that, you know, you know, maybe didn't really want in there, but that's okay. That was right when I first started. And they haven't come in since. But yeah, like, you know, I don't want to do that. I want people to have somewhere to go. And like, I understand that I'm not going to be, you know, the main TV show that's going to get all the good ratings, but I'm perfectly fine being like the after show. You know, we are going to talk about things that go on in the community because I am part of this community and I want to talk about it. And we are going to do that, but I'm not going to come on here and create shows just to drag. I would never do that. And I did say some things. I took videos from, there are some other videos I'm considering taking down, but I still hold true to my guns here though. I still do feel a very certain way about things. And I'm not going to say that I don't. Like, you know, I do feel, you know, differently about Natasha than some people do. I don't care for her. I just don't. But nobody's asking anybody to like anybody else. Just don't be disrespectful in a way that's gross. That's all. That's all I care about. And don't involve people's families because that's not okay either, ever. And like I said, I'm going to address it. There was a comment, and you know what? I'll use the names because here we are. So last night, I think it was like in the middle of the night. I don't even know. Save the Drama, who I've spoken to here and there, has posted a video about people having an issue with what Natasha said yesterday about Granny and her situation with her kids. And I've said that, and I did talk about that last night because I don't agree with what she said. I'm sorry, I just don't. I don't think that was appropriate. I personally don't believe that addiction is a choice. You know, I know a lot of people maybe feel differently than I do, but a lot of people are affected. A lot of people in this community are in recovery, or you know, you maybe would like to be. There's a lot of people that struggle with substance abuse on here. And I didn't feel it was appropriate, and it was kind of a low blow. But here's the thing, guys. I didn't know that she had lost her aunt. Now, would it have changed what I said? No, I think I still would have commented on that because I needed to. But I wasn't up there to drag her because, you know, I had no idea. I had no idea until I saw that video, and that was probably at like 1:00 in the morning. So, you know, I had no idea. And I'm sad for her. Like, that's rough. I know she was close with that aunt. I know that I don't wish that upon anybody ever. And I know that, you know, some people are like, well, she wouldn't have that consideration. Well, I'm going to have that consideration. Let's see. But, you know, there was a comment of mine highlighted in that video. And it said something about, when she had is I'm actually, you know what? Where's my phone? I can read it. I will read it to you guys. I will. Hold on a second. I did screenshot it because I'm all about being open, and if people find that what I said was inappropriate, then we can talk about that. Oh my god, where is it? Oh boy. Did I not? I know I took a screenshot of it. I know I did. Or maybe I didn't. Maybe I didn't. Okay. Okay, maybe I didn't. Sorry, guys. Am I, like, hallucinating? Oh, no, I see it. Okay. So, in this comment that was highlighted, it says, yes, like when she had her daughter verify the cops being there. And that is the comment that is highlighted. I was responding to Lufa. I don't even know what I was responding to. But, the thing about that is, I don't feel like that's dragging somebody's child or parenting. I was just commenting. That was the live, and that live was really old, guys. That live was in, I believe, Granny's chat. That was about when we were talking about, there was a time that she said there was somebody outside her house, and there was, she had her daughter verify that the cops were there. That's all. That's really all I said. Did I hear? Yeah, Amanda Zananda, I do. And that's, I get that. I've been pretty vocal about that. I know that nobody likes to hear it, but I agree with you. I don't like what anybody's doing, and I've said that from the get-go. I don't like all the things that have happened to Natasha. Not like this. But as a creator, let's all just acknowledge, guys, that as a creator, at the bare bones minimum, you do kind of open yourself up to being attacked if you talk about somebody else. However, there's some ways that are very inappropriate of doing so, and I think that people have been inappropriate to her as well. I do. And vice versa. So I don't disagree with you. I don't know, maybe see things a little bit differently, but I get you. I don't like some of the things that have been done to her. I'm sorry. I'm not going to pretend that I do. Right. I agree. And actually, Amanda Zananda, I've been open about that. I subscribe to Hannah. I think what she does with her book club is really awesome. The book that she just did is actually a really good book. Hey, Tick Turtle Gum. And yeah, so I've really been all for not mentioning that, and I don't want to mention her niece ever. The only time I've mentioned her niece is saying that I really admire the fact that she took them in. That I was adopted, so that's a really, really great thing to do. I worked in group homes and stuff like that, and I know how bad things can get there, and I don't feel that that's a great place for a child to be raised. And she welcomed somebody into her home. And I've always said that in a positive light. And I'm not going to speak about her otherwise because it's inappropriate. She's a minor. And even if she wasn't, I don't think anybody's child should be, or else it's like a Bonnie and Clyde thing and they're complicit and there's evidence of it that supports it. Because some people have their opinions on that. But I mean, I need to see proof to talk about things. And there's no proof that I've seen. So I'm not going to. And I might not even if I did. But I agree with you. But that's the thing, though. I didn't agree with Granny's children being brought the way they were either. And that's what I happen to have heard then. So I spoke about it. Because that's I was going to speak about it. But that's the thing, guys. I wasn't even referring or, dragging her parenting or anything like that. And I mean, and I was thinking to myself, I'm like, have I said anything that was inappropriate? I may have. There have been times that I get, like I said, I get angry. And I say things that I don't necessarily mean, but that screenshot wouldn't be it. Not that. But I was like, because I was thinking, I saw my name in there and I couldn't see at the time. So I was in the middle of the night. I was kind of half asleep and I'm like, oh my God, that definitely says my name. But I think it's highlighted and it was. But, you're right. Right. Okay. Yeah, but that's the thing, guys. I don't want children to be mentioned, period. They shouldn't be. And people use it as like a weapon and it's gross. Like they don't have anything. I don't mention my family on here for a reason, guys. You're not going to find my family on the internet for this reason. You won't. You're just not going to. And this is because this is not my first social media rodeo. I'm not private with myself. Because it would take, I've had an online footprint for a very long time. So for me to lock all that down wouldn't be necessarily possible. Now, I don't encourage anybody to go out and dig on anybody else. Don't do that. There's no need to. Or else you're concerned about your safety with somebody because they're threatening you. And yeah, I don't know. I guess there are some circumstances, but don't share that. Just don't do nasty things to each other, guys. But you're not going to find my family on here. Nope. When did what become $20? What? I'm confused. What's going on? I'm trying to read here. I'm not going to speculate on who you are, Tick Turtle Gum. I'm not doing that. I don't know who you are. Quite frankly, I don't necessarily care. You can be Tick Turtle Gum. You can be whoever you want to be. I mean, aren't we all behind you? No, I'm just kidding. I'm a real person. I don't know. I don't know anything about that. So, as far as I see, you're Tick Turtle Gum. As far as I know, you're a turtle with is that like a drink or a pipe or something that you have there and some sunglasses? So that's how I see it. If someone has a creator, yes, right. So regardless of what anybody's doing on their platform, and exhibits, if someone has a child who's a creator, okay, I see what you're saying there. Okay. Right. So here's the thing, guys, and I think I know what you're saying with that, but I haven't seen anything from the situation I think maybe you're talking about. So I'm not going to say anything about that. But at the same time, like, if somebody's not on social media, there shouldn't be any reason to share anything like that. And I know that, this is also going to be a really unpopular thing here, right? So here you go. Here's the thing, guys. There's always the stuff with, sharing the video of her with her niece, the video. And I think that's been, I don't know, guys. I don't know. I still think that involves her niece. And I understand if you don't want things to be seen, don't put it on social media. I get that. But for me personally, like, I haven't mentioned that video. I don't play that video. I'm not going to, for me personally. And I understand, I'm able to put myself on both sides. So on one hand, I get why people would want to. I get that they feel like people should know about that if they're supporting somebody. I understand that. And I understand that, that's something that, really is controversial for sure. But at the same time, like, her niece is in that, and I don't want to play that, or, I can't. But that's just me. So I see it both ways. I do. And creators are inciting hates on their platform, and that's a whole right. And people don't see it though. And that's the thing. If you're doing something, own it. Just own it. Don't say that you're not doing something. Like, I don't see how people can see it any other way at this point. The stuff that's going on, the back and forth and stuff, like, there's a problem, guys. There's a problem. And just own it. You don't have to be sorry. Just say, yes, I did this. There's a problem going on here. I'm going to try and figure out how to fix it. Because, whatever I'm doing is really riling people up, and they're getting really emotionally invested in things, and people are going all sorts of places and starting really awful stuff in other people's chats, and it's gotten out of hand. So let me like figure out, because guys, I don't know how to fix that. I don't know. I'm not, I wish I did. I wish I had a solution for it. I'm not coming on here, boasting, being like, well, I know how to fix this. I know how to do, I don't know how to do that. I don't know. If it was me doing it, I mean, I wouldn't know what to do. But I would try. I would maybe reach out to a creator that's been through it, or something, and been like, how do you do that? How do we reel things back in and kind of calm things down? And, this is I'm full of unpopular opinions today, or things that, can get twisted. But, and I'll be honest, guys, there are some people who do make their money on YouTube. They do. And you can make quite a bit of it on here, I guess. I mean, I'm not monetized, so I don't get AdSense or like super chats or anything like that. But once you do, I mean, I know AdSense doesn't pay very well. But even with the cuts of super chats, I mean, if you get enough of them, it adds up. It definitely adds up. So, if you don't have a crowd, if you don't have an audience, you're not going to get those super chats, and you're not going to get the numbers. And it is, you know what, Amanda Zanetti, you're right. And that's what I've been saying since, I actually think I started doubling down on that yesterday, but it's the subs and the trolls too. Yes. And I think that's half the problem. And that's why I'm saying, I don't think it's all as it seems. But as a creator, you do kind of have to take responsibility for that. And that's what I'm trying to say. With great influence comes great responsibility. And while you can't control people on the internet, you just can't. We're adults. You can't control anybody. I think that it's important to just remember who you're dealing with. Just remember who you're talking to, and what people do on here. And sometimes, like, and nobody's saying, like, edit yourself or be quiet about things, because nobody should, nobody should be told what they can and can't do on here, as long as it's something that's not like illegal or just wrong. But I get that, but I do think it's more than just creators. That's what I'm trying to say. And I felt like I was scolding my chat last night, and I wasn't scolding. Like I said, if I saw anybody come in here that I feel is part of the problem, Because there are some people that I have identified that I think are problematic. I would say so. I would say so. Because I'm tired of it. And, you know, but it's really a perfect storm. And it is. You're right. You're right. And a lot of the time, you know, creators can get caught up in that stuff too, right? So if the chat's going a certain way and, you know, it's feeding and it's getting bigger and bigger, you know, people want to give people what they want, because that's what I'm saying, guys. You know, if you're making money on YouTube and people, and I don't have an issue with being monetized, you know, with super chats and things like that, you know, think of it as like paying admission to a movie, or, you know, tipping somebody for something like entertainment or an art that you consume, right? So I don't have a problem with that. But it's when, like, you know, but if you don't have an audience and you don't have good numbers, you're not going to get money. And, you know, there's some people who really count on that for an income. So they're going to go down these roads that, you know, get them that. So I would be like, you know, like, what can I do? How can I calm this down without losing my income is what I would try and do. Cause I'm not sure. I don't know the solution. I don't. But that's the problem. Like, you know, acting horribly pays. And it's everywhere. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. It's on all social media, and it's been like that for quite some time. Yes. Let's see. Hold on. There's people texting boyfriend. Right. Okay. Right. Actually, I know exactly what case you're talking about. It's the Conrad Roy and Michelle Carter. That's actually local to me, and I followed that case very, very, very much. And I actually wanted to talk about that case because I don't see it getting a whole lot of stuff on here. Oh, sweet Lilith, I'm so sorry. Oh no. Well, I hope. Oh, geez. Well, I hope that they feel better. I hope the fourth one doesn't, but I mean, I know that that's kind of unreasonable. I hope they, I hope it's not too bad. I hope it's like a bad cold and passes quickly. I really do. I'm not sure how my household hasn't gotten it yet. I really don't. But yeah, acting kind. Well, I think, yeah, well, acting kind pays more, like, morally. Right. That's why I'm saying I'm not going to sacrifice who I am and my morals and my values for money. I'm not. Like, you know, I could use money with the best of them. Sure, I could. Like, my financial circumstances have certainly changed in the past couple months. But I'm not going to do that. I don't want to pretend. I don't want to pretend. I don't want to come on here and create issues or hurt somebody else for money. That's awful to me. That's the whole thing, guys. Like, you know, and I know a lot of people are like, well, then maybe, you know, I've been told all sorts of loony nonsense that I just don't understand or agree with, but, you know, it takes all sorts in this world, I suppose. But I agree. I think that cyberbullying needs to be, it's a real thing. And I feel like there's, you know, laws are coming, like they're definitely, there's change coming, and like digital stuff. And like, but I think that those of us who have children, I think, can speak to this, that, you know, bullying doesn't stop when they leave school anymore. It's all the time, and people are attached to their phones, and it's constant. And I don't, and some of the stuff is just nasty. Like, I'm glad I didn't grow up with this kind of, like, with the internet. Like, we had like AOL Instant Messenger and like Yahoo chat rooms. And then like my senior year of high school, we had MySpace. But back when I was in high school, to have a Facebook, you needed a college email. So, you know, you couldn't not be in college and have a Facebook at that point. And YouTube was just like random videos. Like, I remember first time I saw YouTube was in 2006, and it was just like, just goofy videos. Right. But I don't know if I could handle it. I had a rough go of it, like, emotionally as a kid. And, you know, I don't know if I could have handled the amount of bullying that happens to our children these days. Yep. I had a live journal too. That's right. Live journal. I mean, that's where the drama was happening. Let me tell you guys. Actually, you know, that's the thing, guys. Like, if people were to Google me, like, I don't encourage anybody to find out anybody's name. So please don't do that to me. But if anybody does, because I know it happens, the worst you're going to find on me on here, guys, is an old Twitter from my senior year of college, where I had just gone through a breakup and was embarrassingly emo. There's that. And that's, and, you know, I'll laugh at that with you. You want to put that on blast? I will laugh with you. There's that. And I think my old live journal from when I was 14 is on here too somewhere. And it's really disturbing. But it's funny. Like, I'll laugh with you guys. Like, you know, when you were a kid, like, you know, I mean, I tried very hard to be very cool. I wasn't cool, but, you know, nothing like that's going to bother me. Like, good luck finding something that's going to bother me on here. Because you're just not. Because like I said, I know what I am and I know what I'm not. And I certainly am not, you know, that's the thing. The one thing I get most of the time, the one insult people try and throw at me more than any other is that I'm jealous. And I'm not jealous of anybody, guys, because we don't all value the same things. When push comes to shove, guys, you know, I have a roof over my head. I have enough food to eat, and for my family to eat. You know, I have friends and family that love me very, very much and care about me and are supportive. You know, I think I'm incredibly smart. I'm going to grad school to kind of find, you know, I'm able to walk when I, you know, defied all odds and shouldn't be able to, you know, be as, like, you know, able to do things as I am. I have a lot going for me, and I'm very grateful for all of those things. I mean, money always helps, right? I mean, you know, we all need money to survive. None of us are able to live without money. I mean, or else you like live in the woods, which, you know, sometimes I've considered, but I wouldn't want to do that. But you know, it's not all that matters to me. I don't see other people and I'm not jealous of their money, not in the way that people think they are. Do I think that it's kind of disturbing that some people get money thrown at them for behaving a certain way? Yes, I do. Do I have an issue with some of that? Yes, I certainly do. But I'm not jealous of it because I want it for myself. I just don't care about that kind of stuff, because I could have nothing, and as long as I still had, you know, my family and my friends and, you know, my needs met. I mean, what else do I need, guys? Like, I don't need anything else. But so that's why I always think it's funny. Blind loyalty is a given. I don't know what you mean, Renee. I think blind loyalty is dangerous, but I don't know what you mean by that. Hi, Irvin. I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm actually in a better mood than I was earlier because I actually got an A in one of my you know, international business strategies class, which I have been stressing out for. Apparently I did my STP proposal correctly, and that's oh god, what does that stand for? Oh my god, segmentation, something and positioning. Okay, my brain doesn't work. Yeah, you know, I heard about that. Yes, the defamation and slander, Natasha K and Cardi B. Yep. Because it's dangerous, guys. If you make up stuff about somebody and you come on here and you speak to it as fact, it's dangerous. You can't do that, guys. And it's illegal. And you know, don't think that you're eventually going to meet your match and you're going to find into somebody who's going to strike back about that. It's not, yeah, it is. It's slander. It's slander, which is why, like, I always try and vet my information. There was a situation recently where I was like almost, you know, leapt on it, and I'm glad I didn't. Very glad I didn't do that, because it wasn't real. And people need to be careful about that, because that's all it takes. You know, and that's all it takes is a slip up, and enough is enough. Like, there's going to be a time, like, when somebody's had enough of things coming at them, that, yeah, it is dangerous, right? Because, like, you know, you don't be blindly loyal to one person, guys. You can't. Like, if you don't know both sides, like, I've seen comments places that are like, I only watch you. I never question anything you say. And trust me, that's like, I'm not making those words up. Those are the exact words that are used. And I was like, how can you have both sides? How can you have all the information? I mean, some people just don't want all the information, I guess. But, like, you know, I find that really disturbing. I find that disturbing in the real world. I find it disturbing on YouTube. Because if you don't know what you're talking about, why are you talking about it? I mean, that's just how I feel. You kind of have to know both sides. I give everybody a chance. I wanted to hear, like, that's why I waited. You know, the other day I wanted to hear Natasha's side of things, and I'm glad I did. You know, because she has the right to defend herself too, as does anybody else. And, you know, I don't always agree with how she does it, but she has the right to. We all do. Yeah, and people selling their bathwater. Apparently, there are people selling their coloring pages too. So, like, I'm clearly not hustling correctly here, guys. I need some pointers here. No, I'm just kidding. I could never do that. I mean, I'll sell cat hair. I've got plenty of cat hair. I saw a crafting book. It was like a gag gift, but I guess there are people who actually do it. I bought it for one of my coworkers like 2 Christmases ago, and it was like crafting with cat hair. People need to stop. Right. If something happened to you in your own life, right. Exactly. Right. Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about that crime scene cleaner, and I agree. And people have asked me about what I feel about the Wells case, and all I'm going to say about that is there's a reason I stay out of it. There is a reason that and I have a lot to say about it, but like I said, I don't have all the facts, so I'm not comfortable speaking on it yet. And I've been meaning to catch up. I really have, because I really need to. I really need to. I don't know what this whole thing is with the Irvin tick turtle gum thing. I mean, guys, I don't. Oh my god, I don't care. Like I don't know. You guys can. I don't care if you guys are the same person. I don't care. I don't care. I just don't. I you know what? You can be in the same place at 2 times. Don't. You can't fool me there, my friend. But I don't think you guys are the same person, not all the time anyway. So, but maybe not at all. I don't know. I give people the benefit of the doubt. I mean, I don't know. It doesn't affect me who you are. Exactly. Irvin, it doesn't really affect me if you guys are the same person. So, but let's be nice to people though, guys. Okay. Because I know there are some people that do have feelings about that. So let's be respectful of that, guys. Please, and thank you for me. Like, if you don't want to do it for anything else, could you do it for me in my chat? Thank you. I don't care. Like, I just want people to, you can be BeePlus too. Like, do you know how like it is, guys? I want to be very clear about that. It's very easy to clone people. Even I know how to do that, and I am illiterate at all of these things, like all things YouTube. So, when people automatically think that it's somebody in the chat, like, you really think twice about it and make sure, like, do your homework on it, because I've actually seen a lot of people cloned, even people that you wouldn't even think would be, and it's like trolling. Irvin, come on, let's be nice. But you could, like, that's the thing. You never know. That's what I'm saying. When someone's like, "Well, you can't be in 2 places at one time." Well, I beg to differ. I beg to differ. I've seen it happen. But I just want people, let's all be kind to each other, guys. I know sometimes people aren't in a world where they can. You never know what's going on in somebody's life in that day. So let's not tick people's turtles. Not today. Today's not the day for ticking of turtles. We can tick turtles some other time. Maybe, I mean, see, you never know who you're talking to on the end of here. You never know. So let's be nice to everybody. But that's the thing, guys. Like, I think I've noticed that a lot more, though. So, I mean, yeah, go on the same panel, guys. I challenge you to that. There you go. If you want to put this to bed, you guys go both on at the same time. Then you can't fool me with that. Yeah, right. So that's the thing. Like, if you don't like, right. Hold on. I don't, yeah, that's, oh God. That's another topic. Yeah, I'm not familiar there are some people that come in my chat. I know they have channels. I don't go on a lot of people's channels, but that's okay. We I don't know about that. Just because I don't go on somebody's channel doesn't mean I'm going to say that people can't. Yeah, you do. I know, Crime Scene Cleaner. You have a job that I wouldn't want, to be honest with you, for any amount of money. Because you see people at their lowest points. And that's a rough thing to deal with. Let's see. Right. Yeah. So people, right. Using somebody else's tragedy to make money. And the Summer Wells case has gotten really, really bad. Really, really bad with that. And I think it's wrong. I think the fact that people are profiting off of, the disappearance of this little girl is really, really nasty. And I don't like that. But like I said, I did want to, people have asked me and I want to speak on it, but because I do have a theory, I guess, but I can't keep up with all the information, guys. It's like every other time I'm in here on YouTube, there's some other speculation, but I think the only channels that I have coming through to me are really unprofessional ones that are coming up in my suggested. So I don't trust a lot of them. A lot of them are just in it for clout. A lot of them are just in it for clicks and views. And I don't think that's the right reason to be doing that. Not when there's a little girl at stake. Not when it concerns a child, a beautiful little girl who needs to be found. So that's just my 2 cents on that. But yeah, I don't like that at all. I don't. And that's the thing. On the other hand, I do understand wanting to cover a case that people are interested in, because like I said, if you're on here and nobody watches, then even if you're trying to make a difference on something else, if nobody watches, then you're not making a difference. You want an audience. But I also think there are ways to do lesser known cases and keep people's interest. I think it can be done. I genuinely think it can be done. But a lot of people don't want to, because if you're monetized, you need those clicks and views. You need the watch time. You need the activity in your chat. You need all that to get a paycheck that's higher, I guess. So you're going to pick something that people are interested in. And I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with that at all. I think that that's fine. I think if you want to cover a topic or a case that's in the news, I don't have an issue with that. It's about being respectful about it and not, inserting yourself where you don't need to be. But personally, I want to talk about cases that are kind of lesser known. That's why I'm saying, if you want to email me and you have an idea for a case that's really interesting to you that you want to talk about, please let me know, because I will go all the way down any rabbit hole to kind of figure out what's going on. And I'm also not, I'm very open. I am open to having a panel if somebody is, really, really savvy on a particular topic, to come up and kind of keep me on track. But there's also a lot of stuff that's unsolved mysteries with really interesting topics that I want to go and talk about on here as well. And I think that'll be fun, because there's so many interesting things out there in the world, guys, that, I'll look for it on YouTube, because I like listening to the things I'm interested in, as we all do. And there's some things that surprisingly have almost no YouTube presence, and I don't understand how. Because the cases are super interesting. Some of them are ones that people could still make a difference in helping, bring closure to a family, or, some of them are quite old. So, I don't know necessarily bringing the child home. I hope so. Miracles happen. Let's be honest. Yeah, right. They're not trained. And anybody who says that they have credentials that I don't agree with that either. I think that's silly. I'm not, I am I grew up around certain topics like criminal justice and stuff, but I'm not a professional. I'm not a licensed psychiatrist, psychologist, nothing like that. But I do come from a psychological criminal justice background, right? So my degree from college is in criminal justice. I was going for my master's in social work before I realized that it was very triggering to me based on what I went through as a kid. And I really spiraled downhill. Very, very badly. I was in a really bad place for many years of my life. And like I said, my accident was a blessing and a curse. It kind of forced me to get my life together, but it changed the way I live my life entirely, if that makes sense. So, but that's the thing. I don't like people coming on here I don't like people pretending they're people that they're not, and pretend to be experts in things that they're not. It's deceitful. It's deceitful and it's wrong. But right, I wouldn't wish your job upon. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do that. I can't even imagine the PTSD that comes along with seeing people in those situations. And then seeing the grief with their family is also very real. I don't know if it's necessarily exactly the same thing that you do, but I do, because I have a morbid curiosity, guys. I do. I can't help it. I can be a very dark person. Very dark sometimes, but I do follow some Instagram accounts that they do crime scene cleanup, and it's a lot of it's informative, because I don't know how all of that works. I learned a lot of things on there, science facts wise. So but how they get away with posting that on Instagram, I'm not sure. When they took down a picture of my dog's before and after photo for animal abuse, I'm not really sure how they get away with posting pictures like that when I can't post a picture of my dog. But yeah, well, no, it is illegal. Defamation and slander. It is. It's illegal. It's illegal. And, I don't even really think it matters what it is. I think that, but if somebody's had enough and they get that, if they get that, if they have a lawyer, I know that's also a word that causes a frenzy here, but, not so much here, but in the community, and you don't know when somebody's had enough, they've had enough. And you do have legal grounds. With slander and defamation. It is definitely illegal, and it's in my opinion, it's wrong. You need to fact check. You're on a public platform. If you have influence, everything that comes out of your mouth, there is a chance that it will be taken as fact by people, and there's no, and I know that this, somebody else said this, so this is somebody else's words, not mine, but, there's no mental wellness test to come onto YouTube. And I don't necessarily think there needs to be. I think that many of us here struggle with mental illness or, just issues like that. And there's nothing wrong with that at all. I do myself. But there's all sorts of people on here, and you just never know what somebody is capable of or what they'll take as fact and just like run with it and take it to a place that's inappropriate. It becomes dangerous, and you really need to be careful. That's what I was afraid of being a creator, is that I am impulsive. Like I said from the beginning, I have diagnosed ADHD. Like, I'm medicated, like officially diagnosed. You want to make videos about my ADHD, you go right ahead. I'll watch it. Oh, your puppy. I love Nat's dog. Nat's dog is like the cutest thing ever. We were talking about dogs last night. But there's actually a video I want to play that reminds me of Nat's dog. But I don't know. I think I can play it without getting in too much trouble. I don't copyright strike stuff, but yeah. Dealing with families is a hard thing. When I worked in social services, I'm going to be really clear with you guys. I had no business working in social services either. I was fresh out of college. I had no experience. And here I was responsible for like these children and making those decisions. And it was really, really, really stressful. But they're really like, it's an underpaid job. It's stressful. It's, they're like really stretched thin, like caseloads are out of control. Like people aren't getting the help that they need. So they'll take anybody, for the most part, if you can pass a background check, I guess. Or even now, who knows? But, that's the thing. Like, I had no business doing what I was doing for a living. I'm going to be the first person to say that. And I'm mortified that anybody gave me that responsibility at all. But, I met the qualifications. So, and I did the best that I could. But those are people's lives. You know what I mean? Like, I really wasn't comfortable with that. My report was going to be the factor that decided whether a kid could stay with their parents or not. I hated being put in that position because everything's not always black and white. There's always a lot of factors. And, I would do the home studies. And when I was there, things were always great. Like everyone was always on their best behavior, and you get to know the people in that house. And people are human beings and they have their flaws. And, I was not the right person to be doing that. Nope. And I had to. That was my job. I had to go to people's homes and watch the dynamics. And it was really stressful, especially because, taking a kid away from their family is really, it's traumatic on both sides. Sometimes it needs to be done. Like there are times where that needs to happen for the child's safety. Like there's a reason that job exists, but I don't know. I think sometimes I know, you guys know what I'm trying to say. That's why I don't like people if you're taking a CPS worker away from a child that actually needs somebody to investigate into their family, that should be a crime as far as I'm concerned. I just do. Because those workers are few and far between. So if somebody has to take the time out of their day to go investigate, something for a really bullshit reason, you're not just affecting that person. But first of all, you're not doing it for the right reasons. And second of all, you're just doing it to be, spite somebody. And that's wrong because that's a child. And, Natasha's not wrong, guys. Like, they will sit your child down and talk about things like what she said. And, no, who wants to have their child have to answer questions like that? You don't. And it's traumatic, guys. It shouldn't happen to anybody's child. Nobody. For any reason at this point, I'm gonna feel comfortable. At first I said like there might be some circumstances, but at this point I'm just gonna say anybody, right? Because that takes a worker away that could be investigating a child who really is in danger. And that just means that child has to be in that home for one more day. Because you had to go, somebody on YouTube decided to call and say that you're doing X, Y, and Z, and you had to go, investigate something that didn't need to be investigated. And I think that's wrong. And I do think it should be a crime. I don't know why it's not. Let's see. Is there popcorn? I like popcorn. I like white cheddar popcorn. White cheddar popcorn is the best. Popcorn's dangerous for me because I can eat a whole lot of it. I like my snack foods. I don't eat a whole lot of real foods, and I really need to change that. I love snacks, and I have a sweet tooth. Like if there was ever any eating sweets like challenges, You might look at me and be like, no, there's no way you could do it. But I have eaten an entire apple pie with no shame. I love apple pie. But yeah, I like the white cheddar. I actually don't like the popcorn that's like, with the caramel or the chocolate or anything like that. I do prefer like the savory flavors. But yeah, that's what I'm trying to say, guys. I think that there's some bad stuff going on any way you look at it. And I don't think it's just two communities, two sides going at it. I think it's been broken down into 3, 4. Hey, Kellyanne. And I just think people are escalating. And unfortunately, like we've seen it in other places, like people get hurt sometimes. There's going to be somebody who goes real life in a way that's, dangerous. And what I'm seeing more and more is misinformation being the catalyst of those reactions. And, I don't think I could live with myself if something I said, especially if it wasn't true, was the reason somebody else was harmed. I wouldn't be able to do that. That would be really, because it's wrong. It's wrong. You don't have to like people, but even if you don't like somebody, that doesn't mean like you need to do. It disgusts me. I'm sorry, and I was really careful not to say that because I feel like I'm like offending subs because they feel like I'm talking about them. But I'm gonna be honest with you. Like a lot of it is subs because like guys, let's be honest. You look at somebody's subscriber count, right? You look at their count and then look at how many people are active in their chat. It's a very small fraction most of the time. There are other people that are part of that channel that watch and listen that you don't even know are there. And I think a lot of them, I see you. I see some people. And right. Oh yeah, Liberty Farmer, you go on. I'm actually going to get off of here soon too. Because I need to go do my homework and I'm on here longer than I was going to be because you guys, and I want nachos too now. Thanks, AJ. Thanks a lot. I had nachos the other day. But I wasn't even going to come on here. I need to do my homework now because I have 2 discussion questions to get done and I have to respond to 2 of my classmates on each of them. And I have to do that before I can even go live tonight. And tonight's going to be an interesting live. I'm going to be taking your guys' questions. So if you guys have any questions, like I did it about like wilderness therapy because I'm trying to do this in different segments. But if you I'll take any questions about anything about the troubled teen industry. So if you want to ask me about my experience and the stuff that I've gone through and went through, please do. I agree. Yes. Yep. Well. Yeah, your kid's in a room and I agree to you to some extent on that crime scene cleaner. I think that there's a fine line between that. That's my personal opinion. You're entitled to yours. I get what you're saying. But at the same time, I'm a centrist. I'm a gray area person most of the time. I have trained my brain, my therapist, the one who ghosted me, after 5 years. I'm still salty about it. If you're watching this, I'm mad at you, but he and I worked for a very long time on me not having this black and white thinking and to be able to see the gray in between. And now that's all I can see. So, let's see. Right. Yeah. It takes a very special person to do certain jobs that people do. So, my hat goes off to the people here that do those kinds of jobs every day, especially long term, because Lord knows not everybody could. They might want to pretend they can, but they couldn't. I certainly couldn't, and I had no business doing half the stuff I was doing. I was like 20 years old, making decisions I had no business making. But yeah, I'll hang on here for a little bit so people can answer a couple questions. But yeah, if you guys have questions for me about any of that, about my experiences, that is what I'm going to do. I have some questions that have been put together for me. How do I feel about? I think families of these victims feel seeing transcription. I would imagine that people don't like it. Hold on. I'm trying to, oh my God, why? I need glasses. Oh my God. How do any one of you families of these victims feel seeing transcription? I don't think anybody likes that at all. I think it's wrong. I know for a fact that I have family that watches me. I did not know that until about a week ago. But like I said, that's another reason I'm very careful about what I say on here. Because if any of my family was to see me, I don't want to act in a way that I wouldn't want them to act, if that makes sense. That's just my own standards for myself. Yeah, everybody gets blamed. But no, I'm serious though. Like maybe that's gonna be one of my next thumbnails, or like, it's true. Like there's so much out there, but I think until we get past this stuff, guys, and we just work through it, like nothing's gonna change, and it's just gonna continue to escalate. And I think it's getting to a point where something's got to give, for the sake of like people's safety and their, just it needs to. It wasn't like this before. It just wasn't. It was always bad, but it wasn't like this. Yeah, not everybody's into the true crime stuff. I think like, I do want to do some true crime, but I think like what I'm doing, like I said, guys, there is a documentary that will be coming out, I believe late spring, early summer, that is about this troubled teen industry that Paris Hilton was kind of the catalyst to, yeah, shout out to my dad. Yeah. Oh God. I don't think he knows how to read the chat. I hope not. No, it's okay. There's nothing bad in here. But yeah, so like, it's about like she's kind of been the catalyst of telling her story, and now a lot of survivors have come forward, but they kind of brainwash you in a way that to think that the abuse that you suffered was justified. So I'm telling my story before it's told publicly, and because I haven't worked through it, guys. I can't even watch some of these videos without sobbing. I can't even. I was looking at to make the thumbnail that I made for tonight. One of those pictures is actually from the program that I was at. Like that's exactly what it looked like. That's exactly the place it was. That's exactly the clothes they give you, the packs they give you. And I was sobbing for a good 15 minutes last night, just looking at it. So it's something I need to do. And I think people are interested. And I think that that stuff needs to get, hey, Meg Healy. And I need to get my story out there. So that's what we're doing tonight. It is a true crime for sure though. But yeah, so I will be here tonight. I believe I said 9 o'clock. It might be, I don't know. I don't remember what I put. I think it's 9 o'clock. But bear with me with that because it depends on when I get this homework assignment done, and I've got a lot of distractions going on. But yes, I do need to get off of here because I actually do have somewhere I need to be I'm going to be late. So, all right, guys, thank you for stopping by, and I'm glad to see a lot of new faces. If you haven't hit that thumbs up, please hit that thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, I'm really trying to get to 500 to get that, that community tab, because then I can interact with you guys more and get to know you guys, and we can kind of figure out this channel together and like do stuff that's interesting. So yeah, hit that subscribe button. I hope I've earned your subscription because I like to earn things. I don't like people just giving me stuff. And I will see you guys tonight.